We have the latest on this recent high-profile firing, a surprise WWE name has been released from the company, and a shock AEW signing has been revealed. But first, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest pro wrestling news. Let's begin then by taking a look at if Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk could be on the cards. It seems that The Rock is edging closer to an in-ring return after his WrestleMania main event match with Roman Reigns was pulled from beneath him by Cody Rhodes, although a tag team match or singles match with Seth Rollins appears to be on the cards. One man synonymous with the Great One is Stone Cold Steve Austin, two men who main evented many WrestleManias together during the Attitude Era. Austin's two-decade-long retirement would come to an end in 2022 when he returned to the ring for a match with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38, leading to questions on if the Texas Rattlesnake will continue to lace up his boots going forward. With that said, we haven't seen him since then, although this week he wouldn't rule out one last rodeo. Speaking with ESPN to promote the WWE 2K24 video game, Steve would confirm that an in-ring return is a never say never situation, and he would say, "I said I'd never get in a ring unless all the stars aligned, and for some reason, somehow, they all did. And at the age of 57, I headlined the first night of WrestleMania. I never thought I'd do that. If you'd have told me that when I retired in 2003, I'd have said, you're crazy. So I'm not going to sit here and say no to anything, because you never say never in this crazy business of sports entertainment." Austin would even tell ESPN that he does have an opponent in mind were he to have another match, although he wouldn't shine light on who the individual is as to not promote a match that may not happen. With that said, ESPN would outright ask Austin if he sees himself in a match with CM Punk, somebody who has often been compared to Steve throughout his career, and he would simply respond, "I like Punk and I think Punk likes me, so as long as he can take a Stone Cold Stunner. I consider him a great friend, a great guy, and a great wrestler who's had a great career. We'll see." Austin would close by saying that the pro wrestling business, or sports entertainment business, is something he loves more than anything, and he would conclude, "I love the sports entertainment business more than anything I've ever done in my life, and you get a dose of it and you want more, and so here I am talking to you a couple years later about doing it again, and that's how addicting it is to me just to talk about it, and I get excited and I'll start talking too fast, but it's not gonna happen, but it could." But would you be open to seeing CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at next year's WrestleMania, and would the bill to the match still hit like it would have 10 years ago? And if you think it would, give me a hell yeah. And next up, could Rhea Ripley challenge for a men's WWE Championship? Over the past couple of years, current WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley has been compared to the late Chyna, this due to her size and sheer presence over the majority of her competitors. One thing Chyna became known for was her tendency to work matches with men, with her often outmatching them physically, creating matchups that you didn't need to suspend your disbelief. Rhea Ripley has also seen herself sometimes get physical with Judgment Day rivals including Edge, Luke Gallows, and Solo Sikoa, with many wondering if this could ever lead to Ripley working a match with a male superstar in the ring itself. Well, last week Ripley would speak with Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful about this possibility at the WrestleMania kickoff show, with her more than willing to take on the challenge of competing for a male title, and she would say, "Oh, 100%, I'm always down for a challenge. I love a good challenge, so if the opportunity were to arise, I would 110% be down." In a lot of cases, Rhea Ripley would be bigger and stronger than many of the male WWE superstars on the roster, meaning the matchups wouldn't necessarily be as unrealistic as it would be in some other cases. But do you want to see what Rhea Ripley can do in the men's division of WWE? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And next up, this released WWE superstar could be close to signing for TNA Wrestling. Back in September 2023, WWE would release several talents from their contracts, placing them them on the free agency list once their non-compete clauses expired. Amongst names such as Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, and Elias was Matt Riddle, who has since popped up in New Japan Pro-Wrestling and Major League Wrestling over the past few weeks. This week, the King of Bros would appear on the Sunday Night's Main Event podcast, where he would reveal that on top of his MLW and NJPW commitments, he's also had talks with TNA Wrestling regarding potential future opportunities, and he would say, "When I got done with WWE, it's kind of stressful working on TV all the time, especially with the travel. The money is awesome, it's definitely worth it, and the experience. Now I want to take a break from TV. After the 90 days and during the 90 days, I'm setting some dates up. I talked to some places, I've talked to TNA, I've worked with New Japan and MLW. You do film for TV, but it's not the same as Monday Night Raw, 3 hours live. Anything can happen, people are changing the script. You have 10 minutes for your match, now you have 5 minutes. It's extremely stressful. I like the pressure, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to take a break from all that." So far from the September 2023 releases, TNA have signed Dana Brooke, Dolph Ziggler, and Mustafa Ali to work shows for them, and it looks like Matt Riddle could be added to the list in the near future. Given that his deals with MLW and NJPW are seemingly on a freelance basis, nothing would stop him from appearing in the Impact Zone from a contractual standpoint. And next up, we have the latest on this recent high-profile firing. Last week, news would break that then TNA president Scott D'Amore had been fired from his role, with him being replaced by Anthem executive Anthony Ciccione. Whilst the move was relayed to talent as being a mutual parting, it's now been revealed by Fightful Select that this isn't the case. According to a report that dropped yesterday, Scott did not want to leave his role, and the report notes, D'Amore was insistent that the two sides did not refer to it as his decision to leave or a mutual departure. There was talent who claimed that it was relayed to them that D'Amore stepped down, but this wasn't the case. Beyond that, Ontario, where Anthem is based, has strict employment laws for employers, and not agreeing that the departure was mutual was in the best interest of D'Amore going forward. Fightful would also provide some information as to D'Amore's relationship with the new president, whilst detailing Scott's late move to actually buy the company ahead of his departure, this after finding out about his impending exit, and the report adds, "We're told that D'Amore has spoken highly of Anthony Ciccione, but was reiterated that he didn't want to leave the role. A couple of weeks after his termination became evident, D'Amore made efforts to buy TNA, which were outright rejected. There were rumors that D'Amore tried before his termination. However, that was only before the firing was publicly known, not before D'Amore became aware." Fightful would confirm that the talents they've heard from were overwhelmed and unhappy about the move away from D'Amore, as there are many that are loyal to him. This following reports that anybody that wants to leave the company will be given the chance to get out of their deals in the days and weeks ahead. And next up, a surprise WWE name has been released from the company. Since the Endeavor takeover of WWE, we've seen a number of cuts both to the roster and staff, with there now being yet another name to add to that list, according to PW Insider. In a fresh report from the outlet, it's been revealed that WWE host Matt Camp, known for his work on The Bump, Raw Talk, and NXT PLE pre-shows, a move that's said to have come as a surprise backstage, and the report notes, Matt Camp was released last week, PWInsider.com has confirmed with multiple sources. The reaction to Camp's release has been something of a shock among a number of people in the company we spoke with over the last several days as PWInsider.com worked to confirm the story. There's been no real explanation as to why he was cut, and the company hasn't made any statements internally, we are told. Camp, who has been with WWE since September 2019, has been ever present on The Bump since its launch, this until last week when the quiet release was made. It remains to be seen what his future holds, although he does have announcing experience in Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore, and was also a regular on SiriusXM's Busted Open Radio, as well as being a lead football analyst for WBD's Bleacher Report prior to his time in WWE. And next, a shock AEW signing has been revealed. All Elite Wrestling have taken on many former New Japan Pro-Wrestling names as of late, including former world champions Jay White and Will Ospreay, with Mercedes Moné and Kazuchika Okada expected to join them in the weeks ahead. With that said, we can now add yet another name to the growing list of people on AEW's books with New Japan experience, as a report coming from Wrestling Observer this week confirms that Rocky Romero has joined the promotion in a yet-to-be-revealed front office role. Romero has been working alongside AEW for the past several years and was pivotal in forming the working relationship between New Japan and All Elite, and is said to have also played a key part in helping AEW form a relationship with Mexican lucha promotion CMLL. Sean Rossap of Fightful has also been able to confirm the news of Rocky signing for AEW, where he's worked as a liaison for English-speaking talent for several years. And before you go, make sure you check out every WWE and AEW contract that expires in 2024.